Ori, great to have you with us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good, very good. Where are you from?
From Israel, from Tel Aviv.
Ah, nice to have you with us. The best innovations always come from Israel.
Yeah, and the best weather.
And the best weather, yeah. Well, for sure it's better than the Netherlands right now. And the previous talk was somebody from Finland, so probably it's also better weather than in Finland. But great to have you with us today, Ori. You're going to talk
Thank you.
about Siteaware.
Yes,
Really looking
but
forward to that. Do you have a presentation with you?
I do. Let me share my screen and we will start.
Yes, there it
Great.
is. Siteware, digital construction, verification for shell during construction, O&M, and due diligence. Well, great. Well, I give you
Yeah,
the
so
stage and happy to have you with us.
thank you so much. So happy to have you all. Thank you very much for attending. I'm Ori from Siteaware. I'm the founder of the company and vice president of business development. And we're talking about verification of shell or facade, building facades use our technology that does not utilize drones, which make it very special, during various phases of the building, from the construction through the operations and maintenance to due diligence in case of selling the building. So let's start talking a little bit about the facades and why they are interesting and important. So envelope failure or facades responsible for 50 or 75% of construction defect claims. And a lot of it relate to water intrusions that are a major problem. And about half of them are a result of penetration through the facades in high-rise buildings. Um, these figures just represent how big the problem of water is to buildings, and adding to that the safety issues of the facades, which sometimes relate to the water infiltration. This makes it an interesting problem to solve. So a lot of building owners and bypassers suffer from issues in the facades, and this is where we try to help. So our goal is to enable the constructor, the general constructor, and the owners to build facades without failures. And we do that with our digital construction verification technology that enables real-time error prevention, okay, and getting insight into the facade. The idea is to highlight the errors as the facade is being constructed and allow the constructors of the facade to correct them while they are still there and not just post-mortem after the problem was unfortunately manifested itself into a problem. We're working primarily in North America. These are four of the buildings we did, the iconic ones, but we also inspect facades of low-rise, mid-rise, different types of facade, curtain wall, precast, if is almost any type of facade that is being constructed. Our customers include the top developers and general contractors in North America. And as this development of the company, I'm now exploring new markets, including Europe. We're on the way to sign an important partnership in London that will make our technology available there. And we're looking forward into additional partnerships in the European Union and worldwide. So how do we do that? First, we capture images. With the facades, we started with drones, and after having the pleasure of crashing drones downtown San Francisco, we gave it up. It is dangerous to fly drones in front of facades. They unexpectedly lose the GPS signal and begin to behave radically. So that becomes dangerous, and we abandoned drones and developed a camera that is mounted on a tripod. I'll show you in a minute. And this is how we capture. Then we match the images to themselves, and if we have to, the plans of the building. And then we inspect errors. We inspect those large stitch images, inspect the errors, find where they are in the facade, and then send these observations to the client that act upon them. usually by correcting them or deciding that they're not important enough to correct, or that they want to continue monitor them and see how they develop. We also provided tools for the client to handle the process of the corrective action. So let's look a little bit into more details. This is how our setup looks like. It's basically a camera with a very strong lens mounted on a motorized tripod that enables it to scan the facade and capture hundreds of images of the facades that maintain, on the one hand, full coverage of the facade, and on the other hand, a millimeter resolution of the details that we capture. So you get extreme resolution on the one hand and complete coverage on the other. You have no safety and drone issues. This is a risk-free one-man operation, and it's completely digital, unlike the traditional way of inspecting facades, which is just a person on a cradle moving from one floor to another and writing on a notebook what they saw. Just another view of our setup, this time in Chicago. We plan all the capture in 3D beforehand. So when the photographer goes to the field, they know exactly where they're supposed to be capturing their images. Let's take a look at the results of that. So how does a 3,000 megapixel image look like? Well, our screen is only 1 megapixel, but you can see how much we can zoom into this picture and get more and more details until we can see the defect that was marked here by this orange rectangle. So here we're talking about, this is a gasket issue. So the gasket is not complete, is damaged in some way. And we find defects like that, hundreds of them in a typical building. And these defects would become a water infiltration problem down the road. And usually the damage is much more than just fixing the gasket, because if the water is already inside the building, then there could be residual damage that is harder to fix. Let's look at a couple of more examples. Yeah. So here's another curtain wall building under construction. In this case, there is a vapor barrier layer that is being applied on the bare concrete before being covered. And what you will see there is a small damage at the top floor of this high-rise. I think it is about 30 or 40 floors building. So very difficult, impossible to see from the ground without our equipment. And this is the resolution you get despite the fact that we capture from the ground. And just one more example. So this is a low-rise, a wood frame building. And these buildings are characterized by many layers of the envelope. So it takes the builder several layers to get to the top layer. And the interesting things happen in the inner layers, where the water intrusion prevention layers are located. Here it's a Tyvek, the DuPont Tyvek, famous and material used in almost every building that we see. And all these defects that you see here would become a potential location for water intrusion. And if our system weren't used, they would probably have been missed and already covered by another layer. So detecting this error and fixing it would have been much more expensive and less probable. So how does the customer get the data? So we have a platform, a web-based platform that can be consumed on a desktop, a tablet, or a phone, where each observation that we find has a picture, zoomed in picture with the details, indication of the location, which facade and what level in the building. Horizontal location is provided with this zoomed out slice of the building. The classification of the defect, some notes from the inspector, and an area where the user can interact regarding the corrective action. So when we identify something, it's in a status of pending, and then the team assign the corrective action usually from the general contractor to the trade, and there's a place where they can interact until they get everything fixed. Just a few more examples of defects. So this is the crack that can become both a water filtration issue, but mostly a safety issue. Cracks eventually can cause pieces of the facade to fall down on passerbys or the construction employees. Another example of a vapor barrier layer that has been torn during the construction, and the result could be water infiltration. This is a caulk that is sticking out of where it's supposed to be. Another water infiltration problem. It happens a lot in interfaces between windows and precast or any other types of interfaces in the facade. This is the overview of observations in a building. So you can see how they are classified in a platform by trade or by the type of the observation, and also by the status. So they all start with pending, then in process for review and close. So as a manager, you can see more or less where the facade quality action is, what is the status of the action taken for this facade. This is another view, a list view, where you can filter by trade, assignee, facade, status, etc. Another way to manage all the observations, which is sometimes tricky because we sometimes find hundreds of them and even thousands in the same building in all 4 facades. Another aspect of our system is the as-built. We provide a detailed visual documentation of the facade, which remains with the owner throughout the life cycle of the building. So if at some point there is a lawsuit of some kind, you can pull out the status of the facade in each stage of its construction or installation. Of course, this system can also be used for existing buildings, and then if you're doing preventive maintenance inspections periodically, then this is an important documentation that can help monitoring how defects evolve over time and time the corrective action. So this is the zoom out, and this is the same building, the same facade zoomed in, so you can see the level of details that you get in our documentation platform. So I'm beginning to wrap up. So we inspect a large variety of types of facades and types of areas and elements: curtain walls, windows, vapor barriers, weep wall, lighting, metal panels. So these are very different types of facade. In each type of facade, there are different stages of installation, which we inspect separately. And in each step of installation of each type of facade, there is a variety of possible defects that we may identify when inspecting the facade from the images that we capture. To wrap up, we provide full 100% coverage of the facade multiple times during the construction of each and every layer of the facade. We provide fieldwork management tool to enable the field team to act upon the observations that we identify. We provide precise and detailed as-built of each of the layers of the facades, which is a kind of a virtual site. And we also provide performance insights on how people are taking care of the defects that we found. The users are usually general contractors and building owners. So builders and owners of the building, they use it for the real-time correction and for the record, the system as a system of record for how each layer of the facade looks like. I think this is it for now, and I'll be happy to take questions. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing solution. So where are you active right now?
Okay, we are active almost more than 95% in North America. So as we speak, we have another product, by the way, for inspecting concrete floors before the pour of the concrete, and we inspect the layout. We do this with drones. So both products are currently marketed in North America, in the United States, and Canada. We have, as we speak, 52 active projects of buildings such as the ones that you saw that are using our product. And the clients are the top developers and general contractors in the US. Not all of them are top, some of them are regional. But I think number 1, 2, and 3 top developers in the US are our clients and some of the largest general contractors in America. Recently, I began to explore opportunities outside North America, and particularly in Europe. So we are on the way to sign an agreement in the UK, in London, for the use of our system, mostly for existing buildings in facades. Facade inspection is the easier product for us to expand outside of North America. So this is why this presentation is focused on this product.
Yeah.
And we are looking for more opportunities and partnerships that will help us explore the opportunities in Europe.
Cool. So 2023, that year will be mainly to expand into different kind of countries for you?
Yeah, at least for me personally, the rest of the company is still supporting mainly the US market, but the more opportunities I bring, the more chances that we'll see more and more business coming from that part of the world.
Cool. Well, if we ever can help you to make some connections somewhere in Europe, just let us know, and we're here to help out as much as we can.
I'd love to actually. Let's take the opportunity to contact, and we'll see what we can do.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ori, and enjoy your day there, and hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Have a good day there.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.